Hey, Steve Magnante here at High Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with something pretty special. This, of course, is a 1965 Mustang 2+2. Looks like a Shelby GT350, of which 562 were built. Well, it is, but it's not. Now, here's the thing. 1965 was the first year for the Mustang. It really kicked the door open on the pony car craze. Although the Plymouth Barracuda came along about a week or two before Mustang, let's face it, we think of the pony car revolution as being started by Mustang. But here's the rub. In 1965, a total of 681,000 Mustangs were built. But check this out, the vast majority, about 502,000, a half million, were the two-door sedans with the big trunk and the boxy roofline. By comparison, convertibles accounted for 102,000 cars, and in last place, about 77,000 were the sleek 2+2 fastback, which is like backwards. You'd think that most people want the fastback. Well, the reality is these were called 2+2s for a reason. The back seat only seats two. The hardtop goes three. So if you had a family and you had, 3 kids or 3 people want to ride in the back, it wasn't going to happen in one of these. But these are mostly purchased for fun and games, and that's what we have here. Now, this car was born a T-code, 6-cylinder, and that was then. It has now been given a very nice GT350 do-over with a fiberglass aftermarket hood. But again, it's done right. The Le Mans stripes are in full place. The hood pins are here. The grille modification where the corral has been eliminated, properly done. A filler plate here, it's not the factory piece, but it certainly does the job very nicely. And again, it really, really does the job. And to be honest, about 9 out of 10 people won't have a clue this is not a $500,000 GT350. And again, only you and your hairdresser know for sure, as they say. Okay, let's pop the hood and see. Yeah, very nice. Small block, believe it's a 302. It's got an aluminum intake manifold, and it looks like a Ford piece. Very cool. An Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetor. Pretty much a foolproof item. No issues there with accelerator pumps or leaky fuel bowls. Got the proper Shelby style cowl brace. The African Safari bar right here. The Le Mans brace up at the front. Good stuff to see. All these things are very much available today from the aftermarket, but something we do see here on the shock towers are remnants of the original Mustang style cowl brace. Now, those things right there on an actual GT350, the pieces underneath, which are welded in place, don't exist on a real GT350, but that's okay. Like this hasn't been doctored so far, and again, those are fully functional. The orange on the shock absorbers tells us, of course, that they are Coneys. Got a nice big aluminum radiator and just a nice, pretty correct and disciplined work under the hood for GT350. But again, we look at the VIN, and here we see T, which tells us this car was originally built with a 6-cylinder engine. So again, nobody's trying to fool anybody here, and that's fine. Again, the car doesn't know the difference. It'll run just as well as a real GT350. In fact, maybe even a little better. Disc brakes up front, good to see that. And again, as a 6-cylinder car, this would have had little tiny 9-inch drums and 4-lug wheels. That was 6-cylinder stuff till you get into the late 60s when they finally went 5-lug. But again, this was properly modified and upgraded to handle the GT350 theme from front to rear. A correct British rear view mirror. Again, not a cheap part, but these things are readily available if you want to hunt them down. Inside, nice to see the Cobra, the AC Cobra style steering wheel with the wood and aluminum spokes, very much correct. And between them is a 5-speed manual transmission. That's a nice thing. It is a T5 out of an 80s vintage Mustang. Strong transmission. That's the same tranny used in 5-liter Mustangs, the power shifting hero of the 1980s. And the little details that are correct for Shelby have been added. The instrument pod on top of the dash, and all the little things, including even the kick sill plates right here, Shelby American down low. So again, nice attention to the details on this GT350 clone. Now, one thing you'll find on a regular 6-cylinder Mustang, again, is the 4-lug wheels. Well, again, 5-lug conversion on this one, big drum brakes. These are 10s, like you'd find on a Fairlane. And the wheels are a nice tribute to the 65 GT350R, the 5-spoke torque thrust, but instead of being magnesium, these are 15x7 aluminum wheels, which aren't going to corrode while you look at them. So a nice little touch, again, a nod to the GT350R. Now, you got to remember, this is a 2+2, a fastback, with this graceful, beautiful fastback body, but again, The back seat on this, which is present, by the way, because GT350s had a rear seat block off, this has a full interior, which is cool. But again, that back seat only takes 2 people side by side. So again, only 77,000 of these beautiful fastbacks were sold versus over 500,000 of the notchbacks. Go figure. But that makes these things today or then quite an unusual sight and a great, great classic American pony car. Okay, in the trunk, we'll take a peek and see what we find. And before I do that, let's look at these keys. Looks like the original keys from the T-Code Mustang are still present. So I think this is a nice original car that was then upgraded to GT350 Hero status. Let's pop the trunk open and see what's going on inside. Yeah, nice. A modern radial to match the modern radials on the car. Steel wheel, spare tire there. Trunk mat's looking good. The paint inside the trunk, white, matching everything. The stickers underneath. The deck lid are all correct. Jacking instructions. All this reproduction, but again, it's fresh, crisp, nice, and new. And let's look at this too. 1965 was the year that a lot of folks would lose their gas caps unless they had this little anti-theft clip, which was something that Ford added. But again, just a timeless, beautiful design right here. And again, it's not a $500,000 car like an actual one of 562 GT350, but rather a freestyle replica thereof. The car doesn't know the difference, but your checkbook will. Now, this car can be purchased with as little as 10% down. High Octane Classics does offer financing, and they also offer delivery to your place of work, your school, wherever you might like. And they do consider trades, late models, classics, daily drivers. It's all fair game. Now, High Octane Classics has been in business for over 12 years, and they're always looking for new employees in service and sales. And if you have a car to sell, 1 or 50, certainly give the folks at High Octane Classics a call at 508-859-4515. And in closing, if you want to learn more about an actual GT350 Mustang, go to the High Octane Classics archive, where they actually had a GT350 actual Shelby Mustang in stock. We did some videos on that one, and also on the Steve Magnante YouTube channel, we took a deep dive, looked underneath that actual GT350 Mustang. So whether you want to look at the old one or buy this new one, check it out on the High Octane Classics website.